I've been watching the market all week, and it's a perfect opportunity for you to get your hands on some of these comics. So go grab your Vibe Juice and meet me back here in the comic room. What's up, everybody? It's your boy C3, and I am back with another top 10 list and market update. Make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, because I drop a list like this every week. And make sure you stick around to the end when I announce the winner of last week's giveaway. Now, starting off the list at number 10, we have DC's Brightest Day, issue number 4. The first appearance of Jack Hyde, who later becomes Aqualad. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, last recorded sale for this book was back on February 19th of 2023, where a raw copy went for $38. This book currently has a trend of 41.79%. The average price for a raw copy is $8, and the average price for a CGC 9.8 is about $83. Now, this book has 374 raw copies that have sold and 13 graded copies that have sold. You can tell the community members are eager to get their hands on this one. There was a high sale for $200 back in May of 2022 for a CGC 9.8. But keep in mind, fair market value has this book resting at $8 for a raw book in very fine condition. And also keep in mind that I take great pride in making sure I bring the community the most accurate and update information on the secondary market. So while you're out there on the hunt, you guys are in the know. Making the list at number 9, we have X-Men, issue number 117. First appearance of the Shadow King, Amal Farouk. Last recorded sale for this book was back in February 19th of 2023, where a raw copy of this book sold for $46. This title has 42.61% increase in units that have sold. The average price for a raw copy is $25, while the average price for a CGC 9.6 will run you roughly about $207. This book has 564 raw copies that have sold, and it has sold 99 graded copies so far. And I know X-Men fans are primed to get their hands on this one. It does have a high sale that took place back in February of 2022, where CGC 9.8 sold for $750, while fair market value does have this book resting at $25 for a raw copy in fine condition. And I also want to remind you guys, before you go on the secondary market, make sure you go into your local comic book shops to look for these books. Remember, we have to support these guys. We want to support the comic book shops. We don't ever want to see them go out of business. All right? So just make sure we're checking with the comic book shops before we hit that secondary market. Taking a strong position at number 8 on the list, we have Prince Namor, Submariner, issue number 19. First appearance of Stingray. Last recorded sale for this book was on February 8th of 2023, where a raw copy of this book sold for $65. This title has a 43.96% increase in copies that have sold. The average price for a raw copy at the moment is $26, while the average price for a CGC 9.4 will run you roughly about $276. This book has sold 302 raw copies, but it has also sold 27 copies. It's obvious that the community has their hands and their mind set on getting this book. The high sale that took place was back in June of 2020, where a CGC 9.6 sold for $432. But keep in mind, fair market value has this book resting at $26 for a raw copy in fine condition. And leave a comment in the comment section. What do you think about Prince Namor, Submariner, issue number 19, first appearance of Stingray? At the list at number 7, we have G.I. Joe, issue number 25. First appearance of Cutter, Deep Six, Mutt, Junkyard, and first full appearance of Zartan. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, old Chrome Dome himself. Listen, last recorded sale for this book was on February 20 of 2023, where a raw copy of this book sold for $53. This book currently has a 40.79% increase in units that have sold. The average price for a raw copy is about $28 right now, while the average sale for a CGC 9.8 is $295. This book has sold 146 raw copies, but it has also sold 20 graded copies. And this book is starting to grow legs, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I have it on the list. There was a high sale that was back in July of 2021, where CGC 9.8 sold for $549. But if that is a little too steep for your pockets right now, keep in mind that fair market value does have this book resting at $28 for a raw copy in fine condition. If this is a book you want to get your hands on, keep your eye on it because it's definitely on the move. At number 6 on the list, we got to talk about The Avengers, issue number 58, with this iconic cover art by John Buscema. And for those of you who don't know, it was edited by the late, great Mr. Stan Lee himself. Yes, my friends, the last recorded sale for this book was on February 20th of 2023, where a raw copy of this book sold for $114. This book is currently trending upward, ladies and gentlemen, at 60.20% increase in units that have sold. Now, the average price for a raw copy is $88, and the average price for a CGC 9.0 will run you roughly about $312 at the moment. Now, this book has sold 631 raw copies, but it has also sold 212 graded copies. And you can tell that collectors are still looking to get this book into their PC. That makes this something definitely worth having on this list. All right. Now, back in August of 2017, there was a high copy of a CGC 9.8 that sold for $2,629. And I get it. You know, all of us don't have that much money to spend on these comics. But keep in mind, fair market value has this book at $88 for a raw copy in fine condition, if that's more your speed. So don't worry about it. All right. And make sure you guys stick around to the end, and I'll show you how to add a free comic book to your private collection. Compliments of yours truly. Now, humbly holding down the spot at number 5, we have Fantastic Four, issue number 48. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this too is an iconic cover. First appearance of Silver Surfer and the Galactus, with the Watcher standing tall doing what he does, right? So let's talk numbers on this book. Last recorded sale for this book was on February 20th of 2023, where CGC 6.0 sold for $2,200. Now, this title has a decrease of 0.23% in units sold, which is why I have this book on the list. Strike while the iron is cold, ladies and gentlemen. This is a perfect opportunity for those of you who don't have this book in your collection to get your hands on this book. Right now, an average price for a raw copy of this book is $1,361. Now, the average price for a graded 4.5 is $1,370. This book has sold 953 raw copies, but it has also sold 1,517 graded copies. This book continues to be a collector's item, my friends, and it will never go out of style. This is a very much sought after book for any collector. All right. Now, back in June of 2021, there was a high sale for a CGC 9.8 that took place, and that book sold for $108,000. Yes, my friends, $108,000 for a CGC 9.8. Now, I myself don't have that money to invest in the market right now, but fair market value does have this book at $1,361 for a raw copy in very good condition, which in my opinion is more my speed, right? So if you already have this book in your collection, trust me, my friends, you are winning right now. And at the list at number 4, we got to talk Vault of Spiders, issue number 1. First full appearance of Web Slinger, first appearance of Spider Bite, and Savage Spider. Now, last recorded sale for this book was on February 21st of 2023, where a raw copy of this book sold for $4. This title currently has a 1.22% increase in units that have sold. And I know that's not a lot of movement, but that is some movement. And I think people are getting ready for what's going on in the MCU concerning the Spider Universe, right? The average price for a raw copy is about $20 right now, while the average price for a CGC 9.8 will run you roughly about $131. This book has sold 316 raw copies, but it has also sold 19 graded copies. And I'm thinking grab and slab right now with this particular book. Grab it, slab it while you can. Base price, $4. You can't go wrong. This book is a win-win for you, right? There was a high sale back in February 21st of 2023 where CGC 9.8 sold for $199. Now, at the list at number 3, it's The Amazing Spider-Man, issue number 142. First cameo appearance of Gwen Stacy's clone. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but can a clone have a first appearance if the first appearance was already made by the original? I don't know. Leave a comment in the comment section. You guys tell me. I'm lost. But it's definitely one for the collection. Last recorded sale for this book was on February 20th of 2023, where a raw copy of this book sold for $49. Now, this book currently has a 65.35% increase in units that have sold. The average price for a raw copy is $12, and the average price for a CGC 9.4 is $105. This book has sold 569 raw copies, but it has also sold 55 graded copies. Spider fans love these keys, so these are always a must-have. There was a high sale that took place back in February of 2019, where CGC 9.8 sold for $999, ladies and gentlemen. But fair market value does have this book resting at $12 for a raw copy in fine condition. On the list at number 2, I got excited when I saw this book was doing well on the market. We got to talk about Marvel Voices, Wakanda Forever, issue number 1. Now, it was solicited in this book that it was the first appearance of the last Black Panther. So, last recorded sale for this book took place on February 18th of 2023, where a raw copy of this book sold for $13. This book has a 23.53% increase in units that have sold. Powered by this beautiful Karen DeBow cover art, the average price for a raw copy is $9. There is no CGC grade information on this just yet, as this is a fairly new book, but there has been 25 raw copies of this book that has sold on the secondary market. This book is showing promise, ladies and gentlemen. That's why I have it on the list. There was a high sale that took place on February 18th of 2023, and I mentioned to you that that book sold for $13. Fair market value has this book resting at $9 for a raw copy in near mint condition. This is definitely a book worthy of adding to your collection. Keep your eye on it because it's definitely on the move. All right, ladies and gentlemen, hit that like button, Hawk smash that subscribe button, and let's talk about the number 1 hottest comic book on the list. We have to talk about Avengers Forever, issue number 1. First appearance and origin of Captain Marvel, Guinness Vale, in cosmic form in an alternate reality. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. And we also have to shout out the creators of this book, Carlos Pacheco and the late, great George Perez himself. This book was limited to 5,000 copies. Last recorded sale for this book was on February 21st of 2023, where a raw copy of this book sold for $250. This title currently has a 19.95% increase in units that have sold so far. The average price for a raw copy is $250, while the average price for a CGC 9.8 is $165. With 73 raw copies that have sold and 13 graded copies that have sold, it's no question that Jonathan Majors' portrayal of King the Conqueror is stirring up good vibes for the time traveler. There was a high sale of $700 for this book that took place back in July of 2021. That was a CGC 9.8. But keep in mind, fair market value has this book resting at $250 for a raw copy in near mint condition. This is an excellent book to add to your collection, and it is a perfect opportunity to buy. I'm glad you guys hung around to the end. Just like I promised, Steve Jones, you are the winner of last week's Keep It Comics giveaway. And if any of you are interested in getting your hands on a free comic that you can add to your PC, all you have to do is hit that like button, be a subscriber to the channel, leave an encouraging comment in the comment section, and your name will automatically be entered into win a free comic book. Hit me up on C.3.comics, Steve, and you and I will go over the preliminaries and get this book sent out to you. I'm out of here like last year, but before I go, you know what I always say, don't hate, congratulate. Show some love, because that don't cost you nothing. Appreciate, but no matter what you do, ladies and gentlemen, when you see me, always, because it's good vibes only, keep it comics. Peace.